Namaste to all my dear 10th standard students. I heartily welcome you to the E-Samveda subject science class. Today in this class we shall be discussing knowing and trying understand the concepts from the first chapter, chapter 1, chemical reactions and equations. So, in this textbook you have it from the page numbers 1 to 13. So, please keep your textbook and your one notebook and pen or pencil ready with you and note down the important points, and then later on when I ask you to write down the home assignment questions, please write it down. So, for better understanding the concepts, for knowing, understanding and conceptualizing the concepts in a easier manner, I have divided this entire chapter into two sessions or two periods. So, here we have period 1 and period 2. In first period, we shall be discussing and knowing about this following learning points. First one here is meaning of chemical reactions. Second one, chemical equations. Third one, writing a chemical equation, and the fourth one here is balancing a chemical equation. So, let us know each of them one by one in a systematic manner. So, before going to the meaning of chemical reactions, we have to recapitulate and we have to remember what we had learnt in the previous 9th standard class about physical and chemical changes. Let us try to recapitulate what you had learnt. In the first picture, you can see a twig on which some ice is melting here, right. So, now this ice is melting into water. The solid ice, it is getting converted into liquid water. This change is the physical change. This is called the physical change because here no new compounds are formed, no new substance is formed, and chemical composition of ice does not change. It will be liquid water, H2O. We know it is called the elixir of life. What does this picture in the slide represent? Here you can see here certain bright red color fruits, and even you can see yellow, right. So, some of them are ripened here and some of them are unripe fruits. What change it might be? Yes, you are absolutely correct. This is chemical change. How is it chemical change? Here when the fruit ripens, taste, smell, texture also gets changed. The enzymes act on it and the fruits get completely ripe. That is what I would like to show you here. Two bananas, I have already got it here. In my left hand there is a unripe banana, right hand it is a ripened banana. So, here you can see the smell of this ripe fruit, the texture, taste changes. Here it is entirely different because the enzymatic actions has changed it into the ripened fruit. Hence, this is called chemical change. Now, here in the same slide, third picture, you can see here certain cubes of ice. So, now ice, I already told you, when it is kept in the freezer, it will be in the solid state. When it is kept outside the room temperature, it melts into liquid water. This is again reversible. Hence, I can say it has the physical change. This is physical change. Now, moving on to the next picture. Here, what does it represent? Candle is burning. Now, here what change do you think might be happening here? You are correct. So, some of them you people are saying it as physical change and some of you are saying it as chemical change. Both of the answers are correct, but how is it physical and chemical change? Physical change, when the candle is burning, the wax here, you can see the wax. Wax is a carbon compound obtained from petroleum, whereas here we can see the candle wick of the candle along with certain wax, it is burning. When it burns, you can see here heat, light is generated. We can even feel the heat, carbon dioxide will be evolved, carbon black soot will be formed. Along with that, we can see heat and light will be generated. Hence, it is irreversible. I told you here carbon dioxide is formed, carbon soot is formed, heat and light is generated. Now here coal is burning, coal is again a form of carbon, and when it is burnt, here we can see carbon dioxide, carbon soot, heat and light. You can see the light here, right? The red color, yellow color light is been emitted out. Hence the chemical composition completely gets changed and it is irreversible. Once it is burnt completely, I just cannot get back what was earlier or what was in its original state. I just cannot get it back. Hence this is chemical change. Now then, what are physical and chemical changes? So we will just try to recapitulate once again. In the physical change, no new substance or compound will be formed and there will be no change in the chemical composition, and physical changes are always temporary and it is reversible. We can reverse it back, whereas chemical changes, new substance is formed, chemical composition of the substance changes, it is permanent and irreversible. So, I have made a mnemonics children here to remember the chemical changes. Personal computer, I can represent it with the PC. PC stands for personal computer and many companies have developed it. So, I take Intel, I have taken the first alphabet I. Now, what does PCI stands for? Personal computer developed by Intel. How it is related to this? So, here I would love to relate it to the chemical changes. In chemical changes, I told you the changes are permanent, okay, and here the chemical composition changes and it is irreversible. Now, knowing before going to the meaning of chemical reactions, we will watch few more slides. In the text I have given you spoilage of milk. When it is left unattended, when it is kept in the summers the atmosphere for a longer duration without boiling it, the fermentative bacteria act on it and milk gets spoiled. Next slide, here you can see what is this? Iron nail. On the iron nail you can see the brown color flaky substance formed on it. So, what is this brown color flaky substance? What do you call it as? Yes, you are 100% correct. This is called rust. And how does the rust gets formed? Rust is formed, the water vapors, iron gradually on the layer, it is exposed and reacts with moist air to form the brown flaky layer called rust, or it is called as iron 2 oxide. And the formula here is Fe2O3 into NH2O, because it can be any n number of water molecules present there. So, we will move on to the next slide. So, in the next slide, what does this represent? As we can see here, it is a digestive system of man. Pictorial depiction of elementary canal has been shown in this slide. Digestion of food, when we take up the food, food gets entered and completely the chemical digestion starts. There are innumerable number of enzymes which act upon the food and food gets digested. But basically the digestion starts in the mouth, oral cavity itself, wherein the digestion starts. Chemical digestion, wherein the macromolecules will be broken down into smaller micromolecules which will be later on absorbed in our body. Here we can see the cooking of food. When the vegetables are fried up, the composition of vegetables completely changes and here the food gets cooked completely. We just cannot get back what was earlier. Hence, this is a chemical change here. Next one, here we can see respiration in human beings. Okay, here in this slide, we can see the very beautiful pictorial depiction of the human respiratory system with the lungs. Respiration is not just inhaling of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide, but here it is more to it. The respiration is a process wherein oxygen is used up to break down glucose into carbon dioxide, water, and heat will be, energy will be generated. Okay, next moving on to the next slide. Black grapes are crushed, the yeast is added, fermentation activity brings about the changes. So, here the yeast changes the sugars present in the grapes into the alcohol. So, here I have given you the meaning of chemical reactions. What does the chemical reaction mean? It is a process in which one or more substance called reactants are converted into one or more different substances called products. This process is known as chemical reactions. Carbon plus oxygen gives rise to carbon dioxide. So, we will be performing certain activities in the class to know more about the chemical reactions. Now, let us perform some of the activities. First one is the burning of the magnesium. It's a magnesium ribbon. It's a metal, and we'll see what happens when I burn it. So, the magnesium metal, when it is exposed to atmospheric air, coating of oxide layer is formed on it. First, I am going to remove the oxide coat by using a sandpaper. Okay, I have removed it, and now I am going to cut this. Now let us see what happens. Okay, now carefully observe this, what happens when I burn it. See, I hope you are seeing it. So magnesium is burning with white, bright, dazzling light. A lot of fumes have come, along with that a powdery substance has formed. Okay, and this powdery substance is of magnesium oxide. Now we are going to conduct the second activity. It's a burning of paper. Let us see what happens when we burn the paper. Paper is also carbon based material. Okay, now see here, this is a white paper. So when I burn it, okay, it undergoes burning or combustion, burning completely, and it has changed. You can see what was earlier before paper, I will not get it back. It has burned completely, along with carbon dioxide gas, and carbon soot has formed here. Okay, now the next activity is burning of the candle. We already discussed that burning of candle is both physical and chemical change. So as you can see, the candle has burnt, and the wax, it has converted into liquid form, and it is dripping over here. Now this one, it can be again molded back, and when it is molded and heated, again it will start melting. So this is reversible, hence this is physical change. Whereas here you can see the wick of the candle here, right? So the wick of the candle burns along with some of the wax substance. Wax is a carbon compound again obtained from petroleum. It burns, and carbon dioxide gas is evolved. As you can see, I can experience the heat, and light is also generated along with the carbon soot, which is near the wick of the candle. So here now it is chemical change. So burning of candle is both a physical and chemical change. Melting of wax here is physical change, whereas burning of the wax along with the candle wick is a chemical change. Okay, the next activity is the burning of the cloth. So even cloth is again a carbon based compound. You can see here a cotton cloth. So when I burn, you just observe what happens here. I am just burning it. You can see it is burning completely, and now it's burning very brightly. Carbon dioxide gas is evolved, carbon soot is forming, ashes are formed, heat is generated, even light is generated. So it's completely changed. What was earlier before, it cannot be regained back. Now we are going to conduct another activity. So here I am going to add sodium metal to water. So sodium, you can see here, it's a highly reactive metal, and it's a soft metal, unlike other metals which are hard. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got certain objects with a metal which is hard, but this is soft. I can cut it. Okay, I can cut it, and it's a soft metal. It's highly reactive, hence it is stored either in kerosene or liquid paraffin. So I am taking a very small piece. Now I am going to place the small piece of sodium metal into the ceramic bowl and add a bit of water here. Just see what happens. Okay. So it's highly reactive. You can see some hissing noises coming, right? And hydrogen gases evolved, and it is moving in the water. So that hissing noise is of hydrogen, and you saw some small sparks there. Yeah, hydrogen will catch fire. next, what are the changes during a chemical reaction? First one here is when a chemical reaction happens, there will be change in state. Second one, there will be change in color of the substance. Third one, there will be evolution of gas, and fourth one, there will be change in temperature. So, how to remember this changes or characteristics of a chemical reaction? What all changes occur during a chemical reaction? To remember this, GSTC. So, as we know, GST is a tax, goods and service tax. We are paying some money, cost is incurred to it. Yeah. So, what is GSTC? According to me, here what I have written is, to remember the characteristics or changes accompanied during a chemical reaction. G is gas, evolution of gas. S is change in state, whether solid, liquid or gaseous state. And then T stands for temperature, change in temperature. And then C stands for color, change in color. So, then what are chemical equations? We talk so many things about chemical reactions, and what are chemical equations? So, the description of chemical reaction in sentence is very quite long. It can be written in a simpler, shorter, concise manner. So, the simplest way to do this is first write in a form of word equation. So, I have already performed the activity of burning the magnesium ribbon. Magnesium burns in oxygen to form magnesium oxide. Moving on to the next slide, we can see here, is there any shorter way? So, this is very long. I have to write carbon reacts with oxygen to give carbon dioxide, magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. It is quite bit lengthier, longer. Any shorter way of representing chemical equation? So, we already saw it is a word equation. Yes, there is still more simpler way of writing the chemical equation. Then what are chemical equations? The representation of chemical reaction by means of symbols and chemical formulae is called chemical equation. Here for example, or the formula of magnesium is Mg, oxygen is O2, we have written here plus symbol. So, when there is more number of reactants, so on the LHS we always write here reactants, these are called reactants. Okay. On the right hand side RHS we write the products. Equation is called a skeletal chemical equation. So, here I have written few chemical equations. Carbon reacting with oxygen, forward arrow mark, giving rise to carbon dioxide. Hydrogen reacting plus O2, oxygen, gives rise to water, H2O. Zinc reacting with sulfuric acid, H2SO4, giving rise to zinc sulphate, ZnSO4, plus hydrogen gas is evolved. And then magnesium reacting with oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. So, even here I have written here, S stands for solid state, G stands for gaseous state, and then L stands for liquid state. So, earlier in the skeletal equation we saw only MgO2 gives rise to MgO. I said it as the skeletal chemical equation. Now, how come here I have written 2? Here these are all the balanced chemical equations. Chemical equations need to be balanced. Okay. When moving on to the next slide, we have to balance a chemical equation. Why should we balance a chemical equation? A chemical equation should be balanced as per the law of conservation of mass that you have studied in your previous class. So, what does this law state? The law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, it cannot be destroyed. How many number of atoms of elements are there on the LHS? Same number should be on RHS. So, moving on to the next slide, we will know about balancing a chemical equation in a systematic stepwise manner. So, what is the first step? Here already on your screen you can see step 1. So, first you have to write down the chemical equation and write down the boxes outside it. Even if you just write it down, it is okay, but writing down the box avoids you making the mistakes. You are not supposed to write down any subscript. Okay, subscript is the down thing here. Down what you are seeing here, this is the subscript. You are not supposed to write any superscript, subscript, no, you are not supposed to do anything, nor you are supposed to enter anything here, no. We usually ask our students to write down the boxes on both the reactant side. So, on the LHS here we see left hand side, these are called the reactants and these are called the products. More number of products we can just add a plus sign, we can write plus sign and write down, and even if there are more than 2 also we can just write a plus sign and write down to show the reactants. Okay, next moving on to the second step, what do we do here? We just list down the number of atoms of different elements from the unbalanced equation. So, we saw iron in the LHS we have 1, in the RHS we have 3. Hydrogen we have LHS 2 and number of atoms in right hand side or the product side is 2. Oxygen is 1 and oxygen on RHS is 4. In the next step we are going to select. So, here the main criteria here is, in the next step of balancing the chemical equation here is, select the element which has maximum number of atoms. So, here the maximum number of atoms present in the unbalanced equation was oxygen atom. So, oxygen atom in reactant side, okay, it was only 1 H2O, whereas in product side it was 4. We are going to multiply this into 1 into 4 to make it balance or equal. After balancing, it looks something like this, not complete balancing, it is partly balanced or partially balanced chemical equation. So, here you can see oxygen is balanced and 4 oxygen is balanced. So, next step what we are going to do here is pick up any other element to balance further. Initially hydrogen was only 2 in reactant side, 4 2s are 8, because here we have balanced partially balanced, 4 2s are 8. Now, here we have only 2. So, now we are going to multiply it with 4. So, 4 2s are 8, it becomes 8. So, we will see in the next slide how the hydrogen is balanced. So, hydrogen you can see there 4 2s are 8 on both LHS and RHS. So, hydrogen is balanced and now even the oxygen is balanced. Now, pick up the other element which is not balanced. So, the last one here to be balanced is the iron. Iron on the LHS there was only 1, whereas in RHS it was 3. So, just multiply 1 into 3, 3 1s are 3 or 1 3 is a 3, multiply 1 into 3. So, here we can see 3 Fe, Fe is balanced, then 4 2s are 8, hydrogen is 8 on LHS, on RHS also we have 4 2s are 8, hydrogen is balanced, oxygen is 4 on LHS or the reactant side, and even on the product side oxygen is 4. So, finally, we have to check the correctness. I already said for each and every atom of the element we have to check. We checked for oxygen, we checked for hydrogen, we checked for iron in the order. So, first check, finally just check the correctness of the balanced equation. Now, we count the atoms on either side, see that it is balanced. So, this type of balancing or this method of balancing is called hit and trial method. Moving on to the next slide. So, I already told you the last final after checking the correctness, the equation looks like this. Screen on the left hand side we have 3 iron, right hand side we have 3 iron Fe3, both the sides Fe3. Hydrogen 4 2s are 8, 4 2s are 8 on either side. Now, it is balanced. Oxygen is 4 on LHS, 4 on RHS. So, on either side it is balanced, and this equation, such type of equations are called balanced chemical equations. Now, moving on to the next one, step 7. So, here sometimes we have to mention the physical states like gaseous. For gaseous we have to write it with a small g, liquid small l, then solid S, and then aqueous. I have told you here aqueous state. What is aqueous state? Aqueous state, solution made from the water as solvent. And then here sometimes we even write the temperature. Sometimes we are heating up. So, we saw the magnesium when burning, so we heated it up. So, how much degrees in centigrade or Kelvin, and the catalyst used I have written here. What is the catalyst? Catalyst is a one which fastens the chemical reaction. Sometimes the reactions goes in its own pace. To fasten it we use certain chemicals and they are called catalyst. And sometimes pressure will be applied to a chemical reaction, right. moving on to the recapitulation part. Okay. I hope you have understood in this first session. So, to know whether you have understood, I would just like to conduct a simple science quiz. So, first question here, name the compound formed when magnesium is burnt in air. So, what is the compound formed when magnesium is burnt in air? Yep, you are correct. So, when magnesium is burnt in air, magnesium oxide will be formed, MgO. Mg plus O2, balanced equation is 2 Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 MgO. Magnesium oxide is the correct answer. Well done, children. So, we will move on to the next question. Burning of coal is a dash change. What is a burning of coal? Whether it is a physical change, biological change, chemical change, what is it? The answer here is chemical change. You are absolutely correct. Burning, it is a combustion reaction. So, it is completely the composition changes, hence it is a chemical change. Well done. So, moving on to certain next few set of questions. These are multiple choice questions. Here, third question, which of the following is a physical change? Option A, burning of magnesium ribbon, burning of paper, adding sulfuric acid to zinc granules. Option D, melting of wax. What might be the answer? Yeah, you are very much correct. Answer is the melting of wax. Okay, moving on to the next question, children. So, magnesium oxide is a substance formed when magnesium is burnt in. Okay. Options are option A, air, B, sulfur, C, carbon dioxide, and D is hydrogen. So, what is the answer? Activity performed here. Yes, very good. The answer here is air. Okay. When magnesium is burnt in air, magnesium oxide will be formed. Okay. Moving on to the next, what we learnt under this chapter, we learnt about the meaning of chemical reaction, chemical equations, then writing a chemical equation. We learnt about the balancing of chemical equation. Last but not the least, here home assignment. Please note down in your book, first question, what are chemical reactions? Second question, freezing of water is considered to be, it is a MCQ question. Option A, physical change, B, chemical change, C, chemical reaction, D, electrical change. I hope you have noted it down. Okay. Yeah. Third question, define the term chemical equations. Moving on to the next homework question, why should we balance a chemical reaction? Why should we balance a chemical reaction? Fifth question, what happens when magnesium is burnt in air? Next question, balance the following chemical equation. So, write down this equation, dear children. Ki plus PbNO3 twice gives rise to KNO3 plus PbI2. Okay? Try to balance this equation, and thank you so much. I hope you have understood the concepts what we discussed today, and please do write down the home assignment and get it, show it to your teachers, check out whether your balancing of the equation is correct and your answers are correct. Thank you so much, and myself, I am Rupa, your presenter of today's class from Government Urdu and English High School, Goripalya. Thank you, namaste. We shall meet in the next session for the next period. Thank you.